College of HBCU Sports, Kenyatta Cavill of Dr. Cavill's Inside the HBCU Sports Lab with Mike Washington and Charles Bishop. Come mix it up in the lab where the course lecture is in session every Tuesday from 6 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time on Facebook Live, YouTube Spreaker, or the BCSN app, as we discuss all things about the HBCU sports culture, including exploring the week that was in the sporting HBCU diaspora, as well as the upcoming week of HBCU sports. With me, the Dean, the College of HBCU Sports, on Dr. Cavill's Inside the HBCU Sports Lab with Mike Washington and Charles Bishop. Course lecture dismissed.
Are you ready? It's time. The inaugural Urban Nerdcon is coming to Montgomery, Alabama, July 29th through the 31st. Blurs, nerds, and geeks from across the universe will converge on the capital city to see celebrity guests such as The Last Dragon, Tybok, Megan Tandy, and voice actor Dave Fenoy.
Hey, how you doing? I'm voice actor Dave Fenoy with a shout out to all my geeks, freaks, and urban nerds. Just want to let you know I'm going to be there and I want to meet you at the Urban Nerdcon Gaming and Cosplay event. It's happening July 29th through the 31st in Montgomery, Alabama. Hope you want to meet me as much as I want to meet you.
So join us by visiting theurbannerdcon.net for ticket and vendor information. This will be the premier blurred event in the universe. TheUrbanNerdCon.net. Our heroes, our villains, our stories. Everyone's con. See you there.
Whether it's advice on managing your anxiety or tools to help you stay grounded, Coping-19 provides a range of resources and self-care tips to help you cope with this pandemic. We can help. Find the resources that work best for you at coping-19.org.
Itchy, squirmy, scratchy, family not getting clean? Get Charmin Ultra Strong. Go get 'em! It just cleans better. With a diamond weave texture, your family can use less while still getting clean.
Goodbye, itchy squirm.
Hello, cream bottom.
We all go. Why not enjoy the go with Charmin?
Thank you guys for what you do for HBCU athletics. This is a fantastic avenue for all of us. This is our ESPN, so we love what you guys do. Brian, AD, Roy, all you guys at BCSN. We really appreciate what it is that you guys do for us.
It's never too early to plant the seed, to share the tradition, and instill a sense of pride in your HBCU with your little ones. HBCU Pride and Joy Children's Boutique helps you share your school spirit with a wide selection of adorable kids apparel and accessories officially licensed from your favorite HBCU. Visit hbcupridejoy.com and follow us on all social media at HBCU Pride Joy on Facebook and Twitter.
Now, you can live in Texas and not have a good red meat blend. Texas Cowboy Dust is designed for steak and other red meats. It's out to be my most popular spice blend, made with onions, peppers, ground mushrooms, pink salt, and other spices. Texas Cowboy Dust also goes great with chicken, pork, vegetables, and adds a restaurant-quality sheen to gravies and sauces.
It's like a loop machine. All around town, trying to get down.
Vanilla smoked sea salt seasoning is for seafood. The tarragon and fennel bring out the natural sweetness in seafood. I also use it in rice dishes, on yams, asparagus, blueberry pancakes, and believe it or not, chocolate chip cookies. Vanilla smoked sea salt adds a salty and savory component to sweet dishes that create a symphony for the tongue.
For my people that don't get to see me, trying to remind you who you are, just like in Romans 3. See, we about to blow across the world just like a day that's breezy. This motivation for the people and this classic Bible teaching say, make this for my people that don't get to see me, trying to remind you who you are, just like in Romans 3. See, we about to blow across the world just like a day that's breezy. This motivation for the people and this classic Bible teaching, hey, motivation.
It's been difficult because I hadn't been able to see my grandchildren.
An expression on someone's face when you do something nice for them.
I miss all my friends in school.
Visit GetVaccineAnswers.org so you can make an informed decision about COVID-19 vaccine.
Nope. Nope.
Come on, him?
Ooh, I like him.
Quick, the quicker picker-upper. Bounty picks up messes quicker, and each sheet is 2 times more absorbent, so you can use less.
He's an 8.
He's a 9.
Bounty, the quicker picker-upper.
Let's get back to getting ticks instead of watching flicks. Before we can safely get out there, we need the facts on COVID-19 vaccines. Visit GetVaccineAnswers.org so you can make an informed decision for yourself and for your crew.
This is Brian Fulford. AD Drew and I are co-hosts of the BCSN Sports Wrap. We talk about all things related to HBCU athletics. From the games, teams, coaches, and fan interest stories, we cover it all. You can find our shows on Facebook at BCSN Sports Wrap, YouTube at MyJBN Online, and everywhere you listen to podcasts like Anchor, Spotify, Google, and Apple Podcasts. You can also find the show on the Jericho Broadcast Network's app. Make sure to download. We look forward to you joining the conversation and being a part of the show.
This is the Dean of the College of HBCU Sports, Kenyatta Cavill of Dr. Cavill's Inside the HBCU Sports Lab with Mike Washington and Charles Bishop. Come mix it up in the lab where the course lecture is in session every Tuesday from 6 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time on Facebook Live, YouTube Spreaker, or the BCSN app, as we discuss all things about the HBCU sports culture, including exploring the week that was in the sporting HBCU diaspora, as well as the upcoming week of HBCU sports. With me, the Dean, the College of HBCU Sports, on Dr. Cavill's Inside the HBCU Sports Lab with Mike Washington and Charles Bishop. Course lecture dismissed.
Are you ready? It's time. The inaugural Urban Nerdcon is coming to Montgomery, Alabama, July 29th through the 31st. Blurs, nerds, and geeks from across the universe will converge on the capital city to see celebrity guests such as The Last Dragon, Tybok, Megan Tandy, and voice actor Dave Fenoy.
Hey, how you doing? I'm voice actor Dave Fenoy with a shout out to all my geeks, freaks, and urban nerds. Just want to let you know I'm going to be there and I want to meet you at the Urban Nerdcon Gaming and Cosplay event. It's happening July 29th through the 31st in Montgomery, Alabama. Hope you want to meet me as much as I want to meet you.
So join us by visiting theurbannerdcon.net for ticket and vendor information. This will be the premier blurred event in the universe. Theurbannerdcon.net. Our heroes, our villains, our stories. Everyone's con. See you there.
Whether it's advice on managing your anxiety or tools to help you stay grounded, Coping-19 provides a range of resources and self-care tips to help you cope with this pandemic. We can help. Find the resources that work best for you at coping-19.org.
Itchy, squirmy, scratchy, family not getting clean? Get Charmin Ultra Strong. Go get 'em! It just cleans better. With a diamond weave texture, your family can use less while still getting clean.
Goodbye, itchy squirm.
Hello, cream bottom.
We all go. Why not enjoy the go with Charmin?
Thank you guys for what you do for HBCU athletics. This is a fantastic avenue for all of us. This is our ESPN, so we love what you guys do. Brian, AD, Roy, all you guys at BCSN. We really appreciate what it is that you guys do for us.
It's never too early to plant the seed, to share the tradition, and instill a sense of pride in your HBCU with your little ones. HBCU Pride and Joy Children's Boutique helps you share your school spirit with a wide selection of adorable kids' apparel and accessories officially licensed from your favorite HBCU. Visit hbcupridejoy.com and follow us on all social media at HBCU Pride Joy on Facebook and Twitter.
Now, you can live in Texas and not have a good red meat blend. Texas Cowboy Dust is designed for steak and other red meats. It's out to be my most popular spice blend, made with onions, peppers, ground mushrooms, pink salt, and other spices. Texas Cowboy Dust also goes great with chicken, pork, vegetables, and adds a restaurant-quality sheen to gravies and sauces.
It's like a loop machine. All around town, trying to get down.
Vanilla smoked sea salt seasoning is for seafood. The tarragon and fennel bring out the natural sweetness in seafood. I also use it in rice dishes, on yams, asparagus, blueberry pancakes, and believe it or not, chocolate chip cookies. Vanilla smoked sea salt adds a salty and savory component to sweet dishes that create a symphony for the tongue.
It's for my people that don't get to see me. Trying to remind you who you are, just like in Romans 3. See, we about to blow across the world just like a day that's breezy. This motivation for the people and this classic Bible teaching say, hey, this for my people that don't get to see me. Trying to remind you who you are, just like in Romans 3. See, we about to blow across the world just like a day that's breezy. This motivation for the people and this classic Bible teaching, hey, 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 hey. Motivation.
It's been difficult because I hadn't been able to see my grandchildren.
An expression on someone's face when you do something nice for them.
I miss all my friends in school.
Visit getvaccineanswers.org so you can make an informed decision about COVID-19 vaccine.
Nope. Nope.
Come on, him?
Ooh, I like him.
Quick, the quicker picker-upper. Bounty picks up messes quicker, and each sheet is 2 times more absorbent so you can use less.
He's an 8.
He's a 9.
Bounty, the quicker picker-upper.
Let's get back to getting ticks instead of watching flicks. Before we can safely get out there, we need the facts on COVID-19 vaccines. Visit getvaccineanswers.org so you can make an informed decision for yourself and for your crew.
This is Brian Fulford. AD Drew and I are co-hosts of the BCSN Sports Wrap. We talk about all things related to HBCU athletics. From the games, teams, coaches, and fan interest stories, we cover it all. You can find our shows on Facebook at BCSN Sports Wrap, YouTube at MyJBN Online, and everywhere you listen to podcasts like Anchor, Spotify, Google, and Apple Podcasts. You can also find the show on the Jericho Broadcast Network's app. Make sure to download. We look forward to you joining the conversation and being a part of the show.
This is the Dean of the College of HBCU Sports, Kenyatta Cavill of Dr. Cavill's Inside the HBCU Sports Lab with Mike Washington and Charles Bishop. Come mix it up in the lab where the course lecture is in session every Tuesday from 6 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time on Facebook Live, YouTube Spreaker, or the BCSN app. as we discuss all things about the HBCU sports culture, including exploring the week that was in the sporting HBCU diaspora, as well as the upcoming week of HBCU sports. With me, the Dean, the College of HBCU Sports, on Dr. Cavill's Inside HBCU Sports Lab with Mike Washington and Charles Bishop. Course lecture dismissed.
Are you ready? It's time. The inaugural Urban Nerdcon is coming to Montgomery, Alabama, July 29th through the 31st. Blurs, nerds, and geeks from across the universe will converge on the capital city to see celebrity guests such as The Last Dragon, Tybach, Megan Tandy, and voice actor Dave Fanoy.
Hey, how you doing? I'm voice actor Dave Fanoy with a shout out to all my geeks, freaks, and urban nerds. Just want to let you know I'm going to be there and I want to meet you at the Urban Nerdcon Gaming and Cosplay event. It's happening July 29th through the 31st in Montgomery, Alabama. Hope you want to meet me as much as I want to meet you.
So join us by visiting theurbannerdcon.net for ticket and vendor information. This will be the premier blurred event in the universe. Theurbannerdcon.net. Our heroes, our villains, our stories, everyone's con. See you there.
Hello and welcome to another live edition of the ONG Strike Zone. Brian Fulford, Kelvin Rozier, Kofi Hemingway. We apologize for a bit of a delayed start here, just dealing with a few good old technical difficulties. It's all good though. Fellas, how you doing tonight?
Doing great, man. How are you?
I'm doing well, Live here in Birmingham, Alabama, in the room for tomorrow's SWAC Football Media Day, so we'll get into plenty of talking about that later in this show. Some of the setup from some of the different media folks are already here as folks are coming in, trying to get set up for tomorrow's big day. We'll share some of the photos of the pre-setup that was going on that I was able to gather while I was out there. So it's ready, man. Look already. There it is. You know, of course, they got good old coach there at the top, of course. There's
Right.
there's the cover there.
Right
There's
where
the
he belongs.
preseason, right where he belongs, right there, top left corner, above Coach Prime, right? That's where perfect
That's
placement.
right. They got it right.
Yeah. So yeah, this is the preseason guide, so we'll get into talking a little bit about that. Kelvin, how you doing?
Man, I don't know yet, man. Struggled to get on today. We have some technical issues, and then, I'm excited in some ways about what's going on. We got the new AC system at the field, and so forth. But then I also have some grave concerns about losing Coach Rice, and I know we're going to get into that. So I'm conflicted today.
No, I totally get you. Yeah, we'll get into talking. There's all kinds of good and bad. That's how it kind of rolls. It seems these days. We've definitely got the bad news about the resignation of Coach Mike Rice, who will be taking over at Prairie View A&M. We'll get into talking a little bit about that later. And then we also get, almost on the same day, we get good volleyball news. Volleyball picked up a couple of big time transfers, including one young lady who was the defensive player of the year in the SWAC just 2 seasons ago. So we'll talk about her and what she adds to this championship caliber team that Coach Gokhan is building. And of course, football makes good news. And then
everyone's got to come in and get a photo, and so we got all kinds of good stuff to talk about, all kinds of juicy stuff to talk about. I know coming up later in the show, actually coming up real soon, we had to reschedule our interview with Darian Oxendine from last week. We couldn't get him in at the time, so he should be coming in today, pretty much here pretty soon. Within at least we got him scheduled for 15 after, so we're hoping that he can still make that. Coming up at the top of hour 2, Alison Posey, sports director of ABC27, is coming in, and man, she is engineering some great work for just local coverage of Florida A&M, and I always enjoy the packages that she puts together. Actually, that entire staff that's now working under her there at 27, they're doing some good work. So it's always good to see some of the highlight packages and things that they are putting out. They're covering stories, and so we got a lot to talk about and some predictions as well. To find out what you guys think. Marcus Green is going to join us as well. Marcus once again did a great job of helping get our guests. So great start to season 2. So I will let our producer go ahead. Go ahead, Co.
Well, I'm hearing our guest is here, Brother Oxendine, so we are ready for him if our producer's ready.
Yeah, hopefully she sees him in our green room, and then we can bring him in. Of course, Darian as a wide receiver at FAMU is actually one of the several Rattlers who attended the NIL summit. So we'll get a chance to talk with him. I see Marcus has sent me. Hopefully, Marcus, if you're watching the show, hopefully you have the link. He should have a link. Marcus is going to be joining us a little bit later in the show. Okay, so we got to make sure Darian's there. So 1 minute he was in there, and then he's probably getting his computer and his phone line set up. But for those of you who aren't familiar, you can find Darian on Twitter at DayDayToFly01. That's DayDay2Fly01 on Twitter. Probably his Instagram too. I'm not heavy into the Instagram like a lot of the kids, but I'm trying to get there.
There you go.
And there he is. There he goes. All right.
Let's go.
Joining us. All right. Well, joining us live right now on the show is none other than Darian Oxendine, one of those Rack Boys 2.0 version, joining us. Darian, how you doing tonight? Thanks for joining us on the O&G.
Can you hear us?
I'm not sure. Make sure you're on.
I'm doing good. How are y'all?
There you go. Hey,
going on here.
Yeah, we got you.
We got you. Yeah. It's all good. So just for those who aren't familiar, Darian's redshirt junior from out of Jacksonville, Florida. Came over to FAMU came to FAMU from UT Martin. So let's kind of start there, Darian, and let's kind of, for those who don't know the backstory, maybe give us a little bit on how you found your way to FAMU.
I originally had an offer from FAMU out of high school, but I didn't end up attending. I wish I did though, but I ended up going to UTM. It worked out well. I connected well with the coaches. My daughter, I ended up having a daughter. I have a daughter. She's 2 years old. Her name's Nova. And distance became a thing. I missed her all the time. But I made it work, I was a true freshman at UTM before I transferred. And things just worked out. God just placed me at FAMU, and I'm just blessed to be here at the end of the day.
Hey man, that's what's up. Well, congratulations on that, and sounds like you're handling being a father, being a student, being a ball player. How challenging is that at times for you, and where do you find your support when you need help in those kind of situations?
My daughter's my motivation, so she gives me the strength to carry on, push me through those workouts. You know, that extra, when I'm tired, she gives me that extra motivation to push through it. And, you know, just the love of the game, to stay focused and stay on track so I could be on that field with my brothers.
There you go. Kelvin, jump in there if you would.
So talk about the upcoming season. Tell us how the summer has gone so far, and talk about the expectations for you personally, but as a group, the Rat Boys 2.0, excuse me, 2.0. Y'all got a lot of people returning. There's some high expectations. Of course, the original Rat Boys, you know, there was high expectations for them also. So just talk about how everything's going and what you expect for this upcoming season.
Yes, for this upcoming season, oh yeah, you know, we look great. Rat Boys looking good. Coach JB coaching us up. You know, we got the best wide receiver coach in the SWAC, man. Coach JB, he a beast, man. He keep us on our feet. He keep us in our bag. We always learning new routes, new moves. And for this upcoming season, you know, we've been locked in since the beginning of summer. A lot of us didn't leave. A lot of us didn't go home for vacation. So, you know, with that being said, we stayed here and built that connection, built that bond, built that brotherhood. You know, team chemistry comes from time. You know, you have to put in that time with your brothers to build a strong bond. And we've been here all summer working, grinding, man, putting it in. While everybody at the beach, we putting it in. We working. Coach Forney been putting us. Hey, Coach Forney, shout out Coach Forney, boy. He won a lot of workouts this summer, but yeah, man, we love him. He been getting us right. So this upcoming season gonna be crazy. We definitely been putting in the work for it. Facts.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I've
Good to
been
hear.
seeing those and everything on Twitter and some of the social media. Y'all look good. Love, you can tell the bond and that you all have too. So I'm really looking forward to the upcoming season for y'all.
Yes, sir.
Jump in there, Kofi.
Well, man, you're not only a football player, but you're a brand. You're a whole brand name, man. Talk about your brand and the things that inspired you to make that happen. And of course, you also had the opportunity to go to the NIL conference and talk about what that impact had on your life.
The NIL summit, is that what you were
Yes, sir.
referring to?
Yes,
Okay,
sir.
yes, sir. The NIL summit, that was amazing. It was definitely a blessing to be chosen to go there and attend, represent our HBCU. I definitely built a lot of bonds and connections involving my brand. I get into that. My brand is 2 times. It stands for Day. So 2 times, day 2 times. That's what people call me, 2 times. And then the
2X,
flower.
right? Mm-hmm.
Yes, sir. And then the flower in my brand represents my uncle. My uncle passed away when I was in high school. So my senior year, I would dedicate every game to him. And we end up winning state. So I still live by that. I still dedicate every game to my uncle. He passed away from gun violence. So
Wow.
that's who I strive to be great for, be a great father for, and just be a great brother for my teammates. So my uncle's definitely my motivation. That's what's the flower in my brand. So, but
Well,
the
man,
NIL
you
summit was, yeah, it was definitely amazing. I connected with my agent that I have now there.
There we go.
Yeah, we still
Can you
got
hear
you.
me?
Yeah, I got
we
you.
got you.
Can you see me?
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
Oh, yes, sir. I connected with my agent that I have now there. I'm really in a blessed position. I done started picking up NIL deals, which I'm going to put my teammates on. So that's the great thing about FAMU, not selfish. When I get something, I try to give it to all my brothers. So if I have something, my brother gonna have it. I'm gonna make sure my brother have it, or at least a couple of them have it. You know, like I'm not selfish. So this NIL opportunity has really been a blessing for me. Hopefully, more things come soon. But I'm gonna leave that in God's hands, man. All I'm worried about right now is August 27th, the first game.
Well, sir, I mean, I saw you in different roles last year out on the field. Sometimes they had you lining up in the backfield. You'd be sweeping through it like Oxendine. I was like, who in the world is Oxendine? So I had to check them out, man. But I
Yes,
was
sir.
excited,
Last
man. You
year
have
was just a little tease. I was just getting my feet wet.
yes, sir.
Yeah, I was getting accustomed to the offense. I love our offensive coordinator. Coach Simmons is a great coach. He knows his offense well, and he knows how to get the ball in people's hands. So I'm very excited for this season.
Let's go.
Hey, Darian, go back for a second to your brand because I want to make sure your T-shirt design. Let people know first off the website. I had it pulled up here a second ago, but let me hear you. Make sure you give out the site where we can purchase or take a look at the design of your shirt.
Oh, yes, sir. It's 2times.clothing. Do you have it up? I can't think of it off the top of my head. I'm sorry.
No, that's all right. We're working on it. So according to your Twitter feed, it's 2X clothing. So the X would be like 2 times, just in case,
Yes.
But it's 2X clothing .site. So that'll bring up if you go to 2xclothing.site. Kofi, maybe you can put that in the room feature there, and that shows your entire collection of your first. Now, this is your concept. You came up with the concept. You mentioned what it stands for, and sorry about the loss of your relative there.
Yes, sir. My uncle.
Your uncle. What other kind of designs? This is the first step, right? So
Yes.
and you put this together. You started this right before you went to the NIL summit. So coming from the summit, what kind of things do you think you will add to your site, your designs, and maybe did it give you any kind of ideas on some things that you could do in addition to the shirts?
Yes. I also want to get hats. I also have hats dropping soon. I'm gonna get some wristbands. I really just want my merchandise to be purchased at an affordable price, so everybody back home can be able to wear it. Cause I don't want. Yeah, I know I came from nothing, so I know what it's like not having nothing. So I want everybody to be able to wear my clothes at affordable price. So I'm just gonna keep trying to stay in my bag, for that next drop. But I know the design's definitely gonna change, and I'm just excited, y'all. Y'all don't understand. Like, this season's got me excited. Talking with y'all is just, I'm really just blessed to be in a position. I pray. I got closer with God. Well, my mom always made me go to church, keep God in my life. But recently, like, I've been praying a lot more, and the more I prayed, the more blessings came. So I'm just gonna keep praying, and I know more blessings gonna come.
Well,
Amen.
I want to say, I definitely see God doing some amazing things in you, and your story is just literally beginning. You said that you came from nothing, but I believe otherwise. You came from a seed of greatness that enabled you to endure tough times, and you might have come from humble beginnings, as we like to say, but God's going to use you in a way to be able to expose people to greatness, to expose people to endurance, to expose people to family. I hear you talk a lot about your brothers and what they mean to you. I heard you talk about your father and your uncle and what he meant to you. Heard you talk about your mother and what he meant to you, your teammates. You refer to them as brothers. So family means a lot to you. And I think family is going to be a great part of what you do in terms of building great families, even mentoring young men, teaching them the ins and outs of manhood, teaching young women the ins and outs of manhood. And I see great things for you, man. Even if you want to go into the entertainment industry, which is something I also see for you, and I ain't come to talk to you that on tonight. You want to do that, you can do that too. So the sky is beyond the limit. And there's something incorruptible about you, man. Keep going, man. Keep striving, man. I'm excited for you.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much.
Kelvin, you got anything you want to add?
Yeah, I want to. What is your major, and how's everything going with that?
Right now it's sports management, but I definitely want to get my real estate license before I graduate.
Let's go.
So I'm definitely going to get into that soon. I'm definitely going to achieve that. That's definitely on my board right now. So there's always a plan B, but right now there is no plan B. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, yes, sir.
But yes, sir.
Well, man,
I also want to mention my mom. I didn't talk about my mom that much, but my mom,
don't leave
biggest
mom out. Don't leave mom out. Yeah.
Yeah, I cannot leave my mom out. My mom, my biggest supporter. I love her so much. I was raised in a single parent household. My stepdad, my dad went to jail for 10 years when I was a baby. And then my stepdad came in my life. He raised me till I was 8, and then he went to jail for 35 years. So I never really had a father figure in my life, so I had to grow up early and be the man in the house. I have an older brother, but football was always the dream. My mom worked hard. She was a single mother. She worked 2 jobs. I always seen her breaking her back, so that's why I go so hard. Really, my mother. That's why I go so hard. She my motivation. She just,
well, sir, I don't know
I call her
did
every
he
day,
did
man.
it
Hearing my
did it get
mom's
me?
voice, she motivate me. Seeing her break her back, man, I don't want to see that no more. So that's why I push myself so hard.
That's one of the. I think that's one of the good things that the name, image, and likeness (NIL) does for you. It gives you an opportunity to, like I said, you get to express yourself. You get to create a business opportunity for yourself, and then you get to pay it forward by helping the people that you love. So we want to make sure, Rattler Nation. I know I posted it in the chat room there. You guys on Facebook and Twitter. Again, it's 2xclothing.site. So go check the website out. There is, some beautiful merch there. That design is super dope. So, we got to make sure we go support. What are some of the, are you able to say what some of the other NIL ventures are that you have set up? Can you say right now, or you kind of let us know at a later date?
I think he might have got him.
Well, I know.
When that thing hit, bro, I have to start moving my head to see if he got me.
Well, again, I said we'll give him a second. He'll probably get a chance to jump back in there in a second.
All right.
We'll see.
Man, this
here.
brother's
Again,
powerful, man. He got
I'm
me
telling you,
stirred.
man. Again, want to remind everybody, go to the website, 2xclothing.site. Go check out Darian's work. He's got on the site shirts, hoodies, shorts, tank tops, sweatsuits, or sweatpants, rather. So it's a good mix. Good mix of gear for Darian. Darian, we got you back. Darian, did you hear my last question about other NILs that anything that you can share with us? Because I want to keep as much support as we can give you. We're trying to give you as much as we can. So if there's anything else you can offer, let us know. Well, he was there. Then
Look
he
like he got it.
paused. Got him again. Yeah, well, if he's on campus, he looks like he's on campus possibly. So it could be, they got to improve among all other things that we have to improve there on campus. We got to improve that Wi-Fi signal. We'll give it one more try. We'll kind of shorten it up. I didn't look at the depth chart though. I remember Darian. Did he catch a touchdown in the spring game, if I'm not mistaken?
I don't know about the spring game. He had some catches in the regular season last year.
Yeah, I'm just kind of glancing at just some of the stats in the regular season. He had a couple of catches against Fort Valley and UAPB had a catch
Move your
against
head, Darian, so
Bethune.
we know you good. If you move your head like this, then yeah, there we go. All right, we straight.
All right, before we lose you again, Darian, any other NILs that you can tell us about so we can continue to support you?
I just recently partnered with DoorDash. They're supposed to be sending over the contract today, so I'm gonna see how that goes. But I'm definitely looking for more opportunities. But at the end of the day, again, I'm just focused on ball right now. I know God's gonna put money. I know God's gonna bring money. So right now, I'm just focused on perfecting my craft and try to let my agent handle that.
Let's go.
All right. Well, hey, Rattler Nation's looking forward to a great season, not only from you, that entire receiving core, from the entire offense. I know it'll be a buzz. Xavier Smith, your teammate, he's here at SWAC Media Day. Is there any particular question that I should ask him if I get an opportunity? Anything that I should ask him here at SWAC Media Day
Oh
tomorrow if I get a
yes,
chance?
I got a couple. Questions you can ask Xavier, man.
Man,
Let me
you
get my
keep getting
pen
that
out.
man sniped, man. Is that me?
Nah, that's my boy, man. Can you ask him? Can he do his touchdown celebration in front of you? And then, what's his nickname? Oh yes, what's his nickname this year? What does he want his nickname to be this year? We trying to get him to go with X-Man, but he's not going with. He's not going for it. Rattler Nation, what y'all think about X-Man for Xavier Smith, man? But
Okay,
yeah,
that's pretty
X is
good.
my
That's
boy.
pretty
That's
good.
why I told him that celebration, man. That celebration. But you know, he love his city. He gonna rep his city, Haines City. So, oh yes, shout out to my city, St. Augustine, Florida. You know, I went to school in Jacksonville. I love Mandarin High School, but St. Augustine, Florida. That's where I was born and raised. 904, baby.
Let's go.
But let me go back to Zay. Yes, sir, Zay. Expect a big year this year. That's my brother, man. For real. I feed off his success. When Zay is hyped up, I'm hyped up. When he's eating, I'm eating. So that's what the Rack Boys doing this year, man. Our bond is different this year, man. We all connected. We're all happy for each other. There's no hating. There's no, envy. We're all proud of each other's success. So yeah, expect a big year.
All right, that's what's up. I'll make sure to see if I can get the footage of the celebration and then find out what the nickname is
I
at.
need
Hey,
that.
yeah,
I need that.
yeah, you everybody in the chat. So let's find let me know what nickname. What's the nickname for Xavier this year? You guys go ahead and put that. I
He
saw
gonna
somebody
be
put it at
whatever we
Professor.
call him. We calling him X
Hold on,
Man.
somebody
We
put
gonna call him
Professor
the
X. That's kind of
X-Man.
dope. Professor
Oh,
X.
Professor X.
Professor
We like
X.
that too,
That's
man.
I like that. That's kind of I like that. Okay.
Hey, shout out
Hey,
to Rattler Nation too, man. We got the best fan base in the country, man. Y'all show mad love, man. I love y'all for sure.
So you see the difference between Rattler Nation and what you had at Tennessee Martin? Are you saying that?
I ain't gonna downplay them, but I love Rattler Nation, man. I love Rattler Nation. Facts.
We love you
It
back,
ain't nothing
brother.
like Rattler Nation. Let me just say that.
Yes,
hey,
sir.
let people
Love
know
you
how
too.
they can follow you and find you, Darian. Get out your tags and let people know again how they can reach you.
Oh yeah, for sure. My Instagram is at day2x.xx. And then my my Twitter is at DAYTOFLY01. That's Day2Flower1.
All right. And on the field, you're still gonna be rocking number 83, correct?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right. So we're gonna be
I
looking
love
for
it.
83.
Everybody asks why I rock 83, man. I just like to be different.
Okay. All right.
And I rock that 83, man. I'm gonna bring a different swag to that 83. I'm telling you.
You make it
Y'all gonna hear it a
look
lot
good,
too this
Darian.
season. So
We're
Get
looking
used to
forward
it.
to it. We're looking forward to it. All right. Hey, Darian, man, we appreciate your time tonight. Thanks for joining us. We'll continue to share the love about your site. Many blessings to you, your daughter, your family, and the Rack Boys, man. We can't wait to see what you guys do this year on the field. All right. So be safe and be well.
Yes, sir. Thank y'all for having me, man. Shout out Rattler Nation.
Let's go.
Yes, sir. All right, Darian Oxendine, ladies and gentlemen. Hey, let's take a short break and come back with some more. Coming up at the top of hour 2, we'll talk to Alison Posey, sports director of ABC27. But we got a lot to get into in the next segment. You're watching the ONG Strike Zone. We'll be back in just a moment.
Whether it's advice on managing your anxiety or tools to help you stay grounded, Coping-19 provides a range of resources and self-care tips to help you cope with this pandemic. We can help. Find the resources that work best for you at coping-19.org.
Itchy, squirmy, scratchy, family not getting clean? Get Charmin Ultra Strong. Go get 'em! It just cleans better. With a diamond weave texture, your family can use less while still getting clean.
Goodbye, itchy squirm.
Hello, cream bottom. We all go. Why not enjoy the go with Charmin?
Thank you guys for what you do for HBCU athletics. This is a fantastic avenue for all of us. This is our ESPN, so we love what you guys do. Brian, AD, Roy, all you guys at BCSN. We really appreciate what it is that you guys do for us.
It's never too early to plant the seed, to share the tradition, and instill a sense of pride in your HBCU with your little ones. HBCU Pride and Joy Children's Boutique helps you share your school spirit with a wide selection of adorable kids apparel and accessories officially licensed from your favorite HBCU. Visit hbcupridejoy.com and follow us on all social media at HBCU Pride Joy on Facebook and Twitter.
Now, you can live in Texas and not have a good red meat blend. Texas Cowboy Dust is designed for steak and other red meats. It's out to be my most popular spice blend, made with onions, peppers, ground mushrooms, pink salt, and other spices. Texas Cowboy Dust also goes great with chicken, pork, vegetables, and adds a restaurant-quality sheen to gravies and sauces.
It's like a loop machine. All around town, trying to get down.
All right, welcome back to the ONG Strike Zone. Brian, Kelvin, and Kofi. You can see Kelvin and Kofi are live from their home studios. I am actually in Birmingham, Alabama, here for this thing right here, the 2022 Media Day, which will take place tomorrow morning. Live coverage beginning as early as 7 a.m. Eastern. That's the morning show. That's where me and I 7 a.m. Eastern. Oh, no, I guess it'll be 7 Central, 8 Eastern. Yeah, thank you. My producer looked at me like, what? That means 6 a.m. here. No, we're not trying to be up that early. But we're gonna do we're gonna do some live talk right here. The BCSN you can see right here or on that side. Sports Wrap. All the shows are here. Dr. Gaville's inside the HBCU Sports Lab. The pregame show, of course, I'm here representing the ONG. Carlos Brown show. All the folks on the network are here. So it's a full day, and we're gonna start it off 8 a.m. Eastern. 7 Central, and we'll start the morning show before before they start the broadcast on ESPN, which I think is about 11 a.m. Eastern. Coach Simmons and Isaiah Land, Xavier Smith, they will go on at noon, top of the hour at noon. So if you're not watching the BCSN's broadcast of Media Day, and you want to jump over to ESPN for that short moment or two, it's okay. You can go ahead and do that. I won't be mad. We'll understand. It's Coach Simmons and the guys. We'll be talking to Tiffany Green and Jay Walker. So there'll be a Rattler talking. Hey, got to give a mention to and one of our esteemed Dr. Lori Wilson, who's manning the chat rooms, doing a great job there, sniping all the bots and the JSU Tiger haters that like to jump into the chats. She's doing a great job of watching that, but she sent us some info, and so I got to make sure we give a plug for Dr. Lori, who coming up here in the month of August, she's going to be doing a book signing out at Martha's Vineyard to celebrate this book that will be coming out in the month of August on Black women dentists. The lives of historical pioneers and modern day professional women practicing and succeeding in the dental profession. Want to make sure. So Dr. Lori is going to be doing a book signing at I hope I'm saying the name right, the Cousin Gallery in Oak Bluffs. That's in Martha's Vineyard on August 10th. And then the day after, on August 11th, it will go up on Amazon. So books will be available for $12.50. If you designate that you are a FAMUan, a portion of the sales will go towards women athletics or as women athletics programs. Of course, hey, we had Coach Pillow on last week, and hopefully some of you caught the email or the tweet she sent out, gave us a list of some things that she wanted to take care of. So, and I know Dr. Lori, when we had Janiyah on a couple of weeks ago, she was in the works of possibly doing some NIL opportunities there. So I want to make sure I hit, let me see, I had another note here that I wanted to make sure. So again, the book signing, August 10th, Martha's Vineyard at the Cousin Gallery in Oak Bluff. So I know we're going to try to get Dr. Lori on here next week. So hopefully I'm saying that correctly, Doc. And then, of course, the next day, August 11th, you'll be able to purchase the book on Amazon. So one more time, if you could put that graphic up so that way people can write the name of the book down, can check it out. We say, there it is, right there. So congratulations, Dr. Lori.
Let's go.
So yeah, Rattler's doing things, so we want to make sure to share the love. So I mean, she's definitely blessed us and helped us. So anytime that we can pay it forward, we are more than obliged to do so. So again, Dr. Lori, be looking out next week. Sometime we're gonna get that one-on-one here, get you on the show again. I know you've called in a couple times, but maybe we'll get you on, do some FaceTime with us, and we'll kind of talk about it. What you got, Kofi?
All right, so I just wanted to say, Brother Darian is a unique brother, and we want to appreciate him for coming on. But there is a housing crisis on the Heights of Seven Hills, and unfortunately, he's fallen into that group, and he is in need. So, Rattler Nation, if you all know of any solutions, or if you all have any solutions, that of course would be a benefit, and we want to provide additional resources when we can. To this particular housing crisis if possible. So again, if anybody knows any properties, anybody knows any spots, et cetera, let's go ahead and be a blessing really to the future Rattlers, the Rattlers that are here and then the Rattlers that are to come. And we want to put ourselves in a situation where something like this never happens again. So most definitely.
Since you brought that up, I know it's not on our agenda of things to talk to, and I didn't pull the information up, so I don't know if it's good to talk on it, but I know there were some options that were given. Kelvin, I don't know, are you prepared, or can you talk on any of those options, or do you have any comments or thoughts regarding, having been an administrator, having been up there on the yard working for FAMU? Any thoughts on how does that happen? I know that's a big question that a lot of people have. A big question on how that happens, but any thoughts? You want to jump in there, Kelvin? Or do we want to
Yeah,
table it?
what I'll say is this: housing issues are not just at our university. It's a serious issue across universities across the country right now. Um, you would like to have identified the inventory and only accepted slightly above the applications that you had inventory. It is common practice in terms of just students in general to accept more applications than inventory because you don't know who's coming. Not everybody who applies or even say they're coming will show up in the fall. So that is the industry standard. That's why you have a wait list. And of course, housing crisis in Florida is magnified. Not just with university and rental inventory, but affordable housing and just housing in general across the state. So it's some unique circumstances with that. Now, in terms of student athletes, I don't know. I know generally a lot of the older students, the juniors, seniors, tend to want to stay off campus, and so there's only a certain amount of rooms available typically for student athletes on campus, and they try to save those for the freshmen and sophomores primarily. Ultimately, I just don't know if we planned enough and have enough details. We've had a lot of transition. There's a lot of vacant positions right now, specifically with athletics. So I think all of these different scenarios probably contributed to it.
Yeah, there's a lot to unpack there. Although one of the things I saw, I was trying to think about the pricing and some of the numbers that are put out, and we'll get it. I want to make sure we have all the info before we kind of talk about that. But let's transition for a second, fellas, because I know one of the topics that we want to talk about, the resignation there of Coach Mike Rice, our men's golf coach. Not only is Coach Rice an alum, he's a four-time All-American for the over the men's golf team. Been an assistant coach since 2013, been the head coach since 2018, led the team to the first and last MEAC championship in men's golf. In our matter of fact, he won the last championship that FAMU won in the MEAC. And look, by all accounts, this was a young squad that he built or recruited this year. We saw some second and third place finishes, but he was very excited about the upcoming group. And it's sad. We'll go to you, Kelvin, in a second, with what we know and what you can share. But I will say he's going to Prairie View, where he'll get an opportunity to coach the men and women's program over there, and that's a program that has won championships. That's been a good program. Their former coach left under some tough situations, and he went to Central Michigan, I think, and they didn't have a coach for the last year. Or they maybe had an adjunct or somebody just kind of filling in. But so they get a great coach. They give him an assistant, which he didn't have at FAMU. So I'll turn it over to you, Kelvin. Go. I'll let you tell it. What we know, what you can share, how disappointing this is, why did this happen, is maybe a big question that a lot of people have.
So first of all, I have to say that, Coach, we talked offline prior to him coming on to the show last time he was on the show, and he acknowledged that this was a possibility. This could be coming down the pipe. He's a rattler. He's been here a long time. I can tell you he didn't want to go. He didn't want to have to make this decision. I think it comes down to what a lot of rattlers. I got a call from a former athletic administrator yesterday, and we kind of chatted it up, and I think they put it to me like this, and we agreed. When you work in FAMU athletics and you accomplish things, you want to feel like you're appreciated, like you're valued. And when you've got accomplishments, you want to be compensated. But more importantly, you want to be acknowledged. And I think, Prairie View has men's and women's golf, so his salary's going to double. And he gets a paid assistant. But I don't think it was, I know it wasn't all that. I think that once the offer was on the table, he went to the powers that be and tried to see what the university was willing to do. And he was promised a response. And I don't think he got a response. So that left a taste that perhaps maybe I'm not valued and people are willing to pay me for my value. So maybe it's time. And that has been the case for a lot of former athletic staff and administration. They've moved on and gone and work at other universities and so forth, better compensated and frankly, better resources to do what they do. And that's unfortunate. That's a real sad side. And then we didn't lose them to like a FBS program or a Power 5 or even a Group 5. We lost them to our SWAC brethren. MEAC Hall of Fame. All right, he's the best in the business at golf coaching right now. I would say at the FCS level, not just Black College, but there's no doubt he's the best in Black College. And to allow him to walk without no kind of counter offer or anything, and knowing all the holes we have in the athletic department right now, where he, I think about one of our other co-workers, for instance, right? Kendra Green, who's at North Carolina Central. She's SWA. She's the AD over internal affairs, and she also coaches men's and women's golf. Coach Rice has a background with Tallahassee Parks and Recreations in golf and facilities management. So with all the open positions over there on the facility side, perhaps you could have think outside of the box and gave him a dual role to help with the compensation. But it doesn't appear we have that kind of forethought and leadership right now, and that's unfortunate.
Kofi, your comments, your thoughts.
Well, our motto is excellence with caring. But the reality is you can't have excellence if you don't care. It is readily apparent that we have in upper leadership, and I'm, again, Dr. Robinson is an academician. And it shows just in the amount of accolades that the school has gotten in that area. If I were grading him academically, I'd give him a solid A in that regard. But athletically, his performance has been piss poor. Piss poor. It is obvious that he doesn't have a pulse or a value or the wherewithal to set the house in order. And unfortunately, there's no end in sight. So right now, I want to challenge us to really hold his feet to the fire. Because if we don't, we have to really consider, as long as he's here, FAMU will basically be a Division II program. Let me say that again.
Preach.
As long as Larry Robinson is in the seat as president on the highest of 7 hills, FAMU athletics will basically be a Division II program. He loves photo ops. He loves to do pictures with people that he's going to fire. Even if he had nothing to do with the project, his tail is going to be in the picture. My issue is, sir, when are you going to be seen doing something on behalf of FAMU athletics? The stadium was almost shut down because of your tail. You, Larry Robinson, let me say this, Dr. Larry Robinson, want to give you honor to your name. But at the same time, what have you done? Since you have been at the helm, we've had APR issues after APR issues, all because you won't provide the necessary resources to ensure that this stuff doesn't happen again. But because you don't care, we're right back in the seat again with the same foolishness. It's got to stop. And it's going to continue as long as he's in the seat. We had a whole NAA meeting. Nobody said anything. We're doing a ton of photos. Everybody's smiling and giggling like nothing is wrong. He didn't even have to address the mistakes that he's made. And it's apparent, again, let me say this. The man won championships. Coach Rice won championships. His golf team was among the top with the APRs. He recruited black ball players. He went to FAMU. He sends an email to Dr. Robinson and doesn't get a freaking response. Let me say this, Dr. Robinson. I know you're on the top, but the greatest among us is the servant. You are in position to serve FAMU and all of its constituents. Your job is to solve problems and serve FAMU to the best of your ability. You're not doing that. And if you're not going to do that, you need to get to stepping. For real. Because at this point, you're costing the brand. You're costing us the brand. You're causing us to lose people. There's no way at the collegiate level you can have a softball coach that doesn't get paid. You getting a check. You're getting a check. Why can't they get a check? And this is the same foolishness that continues to happen while you're at the seat. But you can't answer an email and try to get to the root of the issue so that it doesn't occur again. As long as we're quiet about this, this foolishness says that we sign off on it. Now, Rattler Nation, if you're not in agreement with his level of service or his performance regarding athletics, you need to open your mouth.
Yeah.
Somebody got him. Somebody got him right there. Somebody got him right there. Hey, I got a special guest here that's going to be joining. I know we got Alison Posey coming up here. I also got a special guest who's going to pop in as well. So let's take a break and get all that set up here because time is short. And we'll come back and let Kofi finish his thoughts there a little bit later in the show. Let's take a break. You're watching the OG Strike Zone. We'll be back in just a moment.
Now, you can live in Texas and not have a good red meat blend. Texas Cowboy Dust is designed for steak and other red meats. It's out to be my most popular spice blend, made with onions, peppers, ground mushrooms, pink salt, and other spices. Texas Cowboy Dust also goes great with chicken, pork, vegetables, and adds a restaurant-quality sheen to gravies and sauces.
It's like a loop machine. All around town, trying to get down.
Vanilla smoked sea salt seasoning is for seafood. The tarragon and fennel bring out the natural sweetness in seafood. I also use it in rice dishes, on yams, asparagus, blueberry pancakes, and believe it or not, chocolate chip cookies. Vanilla smoked sea salt adds a salty and savory component to sweet dishes that create a symphony for the tongue.
For my people that don't get to see me, trying to remind you who you are, just like in Romans 3. See, we about to blow across the world just like a day that's breezy. This motivation for the people and this classic Bible teaching say, make this for my people that don't get to see me, trying to remind you who you are, just like in Romans 3. See, we about to blow across the world just like a day that's breezy. This motivation for the people and this classic Bible teaching, hey, motivation.
It's been difficult because I hadn't been able to see my grandchildren.
An expression on someone's face when you do something nice for them.
I miss all my friends in school.
Visit getvaccineanswers.org so you can make an informed decision about COVID-19 vaccine.
Nope. Nope.
Come on, him?
Ooh, I like him.
Quick, the quicker picker-upper. Bounty picks up messes quicker, and each sheet is 2 times more absorbent so you can use less.
He's an 8.
He's a 9.
Bounty, the quicker picker-upper.
Let's get back to getting ticks instead of watching flicks. Before we can safely get out there, we need the facts on COVID-19 vaccines. Visit getvaccineanswers.org so you can make an informed decision for yourself and for your crew.
This is Brian Fulford. AD Drew and I are co-hosts of the BCSN Sports Wrap. We talk about all things related to HBCU athletics. From the games, teams, coaches, and fan interest stories, we cover it all. You can find our shows on Facebook at BCSN Sports Wrap, YouTube at MyJBN Online, and everywhere you listen to podcasts like Anchor, Spotify, Google, and Apple Podcasts. You can also find the show on the Jericho Broadcast Network's app. Make sure to download. We look forward to you joining the conversation and being a part of the show.
This is the Dean of the College of HBCU Sports, Kenyatta Cavill of Dr. Cavill's Inside the HBCU Sports Lab with Mike Washington and Charles Bishop. Come mix it up in the lab where the course lecture is in session every Tuesday from 6 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time on Facebook Live, YouTube Spreaker, or the BCSN app, as we discuss all things about the HBCU sports culture, including exploring the week that was in the sporting HBCU diaspora, as well as the upcoming week of HBCU sports. With me, the Dean, the College of HBCU Sports, on Dr. Cavill's Inside the HBCU Sports Lab with Mike Washington and Charles Bishop. Course lecture dismissed.
Are you ready? It's time. The inaugural Urban Nerdcon is coming to Montgomery, Alabama, July 29th through the 31st. Blurs, nerds, and geeks from across the universe will converge on the capital city to see celebrity guests such as The Last Dragon, Tybok, Megan Tandy, and voice actor Dave Fanoy.
Hey, how you doing? I'm voice actor Dave Fanoy with a shout out to all my geeks, freaks, and urban nerds. Just want to let you know I'm going to be there and I want to meet you at the Urban Nerdcon Gaming and Cosplay event. It's happening July 29th through the 31st in Montgomery, Alabama. Hope you want to meet me as much as I want to meet you.
So join us by visiting theurbannerdcon.net for ticket and vendor information. This will be the premier blurred event in the universe. Theurbannerdcon.net. Our heroes, our villains, our stories. Everyone's con. See you there.
Whether it's advice on managing your anxiety or tools to help you stay grounded, Coping-19 provides a range of resources and self-care tips to help you cope with this pandemic. We can help. Find the resources that work best for you at coping-19.org.
Itchy? Squirmy? Scratchy? Family not getting clean? Get Charmin Ultra Strong. Go get 'em! It just cleans better. With a diamond weave texture, your family can use less while still getting clean.
Goodbye, itchy squirm.
Hello, cream bottom.
We all go. Why not enjoy the go with Charmin?
Thank you guys for what you do for HBCU athletics. This is a fantastic avenue for all of us. This is our ESPN, so we love what you guys do. Brian, AD, Roy, all you guys at BCSN. We really appreciate what it is that you guys do for us.
It's never too early to plant the seed, to share the tradition, and instill a sense of pride in your HBCU with your little ones. HBCU Pride and Joy Children's Boutique helps you share your school spirit with a wide selection of adorable kids' apparel and accessories officially licensed from your favorite HBCU. Visit hbcupridejoy.com and follow us on all social media at HBCU Pride Joy on Facebook and Twitter.
All right, it's a loaded backfield here right now on the O&G strike zone. Let's go. You know us, me, Brian, Kelvin, Kofi. Joining us, our playing guest, Alison Posey, Sports Director ABC27. Hello, Allison. Thanks for coming on. Marcus Green, of course, who's always a contributor of the show, helps with our guests and our recruiting, so we appreciate him. And then look who popped in. We were just talking about this young man. One of the two who came with Coach Simmons is the X-Man himself, Xavier Smith, wide receiver, Florida A&M University. So we'll start with you, Xavier. How you doing tonight?
I'm doing good. I'm feeling good, and I'm happy to be here.
All right. Well, look, I told you we appreciate you coming in. So I'm going to start with the first question because it's courtesy of your teammate, Darian Oxendine, right? This comes directly from him, courtesy of Darian. So, get ready for this. He said, first off, he said, would you be willing to show us your touchdown celebration that you have planned? I figure you might want to show it now while there's no other teams here. That just put that out there. And then secondly, he said, what's the nickname for this year? What's the nickname that we're going with this year?
So first off, I can't show y'all the touchdown celebration. That's a secret. We're going to say that for the first game, but we've been practicing it. We've been working on it. So we're going to definitely pull it out when the first game comes. And the name I'm going to go with this year, we're going to stick with the X-Man. I know everybody know that. Everybody call me that. So we're going to stick with the X-Man this year.
Let's go.
All right. Well, look, we're going to go with our guests first. So we'll go Allison and then Marcus, and then we'll swing it around to Kofi and Kelvin. So, Allison, we give it up to our guests. What's your first question for Xavier?
Oh, gosh. So we're asking questions now.
You thought you were just going to come in and be interviewed, right? See?
Apparently. I mean, normally I'm the one asking the questions. I was looking forward to being asked questions for once. But, no, I mean, seriously, I guess just looking ahead to the season, I had a chance to talk to Coach Simmons the other day, and he said that you guys have something to prove because this might be the biggest season for Florida A&M football in a long time just because expectations are so high. For you as a player, how high are the expectations and how excited are you to start this season and get this season underway?
When we talking about expectations, I feel as though since I've been here, the expectations has been high. It's Florida A&M, and the standard has always been set at excellent, and it's never been nothing lower than that. So for me, it's the same as it always been every year. And what was the second question?
How ready are you to start this season?
Oh, I'm real excited. Just I've been sweating. I've been getting chill bumps. Just ready for the season. Just ready for camp to start. I'm ready. I'm excited. I got the jitters. So camp starts next Thursday, and I'm ready to roll.
All right, Marcus, go ahead.
All right. Well, thank you for joining us, Xavier. Because my question for you is, last year was great for FAMU football. Going 9-2, making it to the playoffs. Have you noticed a discernible difference between last year's squad and what you've seen this year that would take it even higher?
Most definitely, just a brotherhood. Just us being together more as a team. We've been hanging out. We've been doing a lot of team bonding. We've been doing extra work together. It's like everything we've been doing, it's always been team, and we've been doing things that's player led. And in the previous seasons, we never did activities. We never did sessions such as 7-on-7 or working out that was player led, having team meetings that's player led. And this year we've been doing a lot of things that's player led without the coaches, just taking it upon ourselves to show like we ready to go and we ready to play. And that's the biggest difference I can see. And I say discipline. We've been a lot more disciplined this year as well. So
all right, thank you.
Good job. Kelvin, what do you got?
Zay, so you got a new offensive coordinator coming in, Coach Henry, who's previously with the program.
Right.
Went away for a couple of years, but now he's back. Coach Black is in the NFL now.
Right.
Do you anticipate a significant difference in terms of how you'll be utilized going into the season? And tell me about your personal goals and your team goals going into the season.
I don't think I'd be utilized any different. I think every coach in the room, every all of my teammates, they know what I could do, and it's not even really been worried about myself, just whether I have to make ways to get other guys to succeed. That's just what I'm willing to do. I really haven't been worried about what the coach is going to do to try to get me the ball, because I know for a fact they got ways, and I just want to be able to help other guys make plays, help other guys get open, whether team scheme for me or not. I want those guys to succeed just as much as I succeed myself. So that's really been my main focus, just bringing other guys along, not really focused on what I'm going to do or what the other coaches got doing for me. I've been helping the other guys, and that's my main focus. And when those doors open for me to make plays, I'll make those plays.
Okay, so what about team goals and personal goals for the season?
Team goals, we want to win it all, and that's nothing less than that. We want those rings, and we not settling for nothing less than that this year. So that'll definitely be the team goals. And as for personal goals, I really haven't set none for myself. I'm just gonna work hard. I'm gonna take it day by day, and at the end of the season, we'll see what my work has done for me.
Good job, Kofi. Go ahead and finish it off for Xavier.
Man, you sound focused, like you just ready to just go ahead and just bust on through the scenes. You've done Adidas, you've done all these great things. Let me ask you this. So Jackson State is going to bring like press coverage. They like to do one-on-one coverage. Have you all been watching? Have you all been working on those things in particular in practice and getting ready for that game down there in Miami?
We still got North Carolina first, so that's the game we mainly focused on. But as of right now, we really haven't been focused on no teams. The only team that we trying to beat is FAMU, and as long as we better than FAMU each and every day, and we'll be all right.
Let's go. I love it.
You sound like a polished veteran, Xavier. Love it, man.
He been listening to Bill Belichick in them. He been around them.
Hey, Coach Simmons did a great job. He did a great job bringing you up here. You'll have a good time tomorrow. Hey, Xavier, let people know how they can find you, how Rattler Nation can find you and follow you and support you and everything that you're doing.
So on my Instagram is at ShineTime19, SHINETIME 19, and you can follow me on Twitter as well, ShineTime_863.
Shine time. I like that. I like that. Well, hey, when Shine time meets prime time, that's gonna be a picture right there. All right, that's gonna be a picture that somebody's gonna have to take tomorrow. All right. So hey, everybody, give it up wherever you are. Give it up for the X-Man. All right, we give it up to you. And hey, we appreciate you taking time, Xavier, to stop through tomorrow noon. You, Coach Simmons, and Isaiah Land, you guys will be up on stage, but we'll get a chance to chat more tomorrow. All right. Thank you for coming over and talking with us, man. Appreciate you.
I thank you guys for having me.
All right. All right. That's Xavier Smith, a quick little impromptu visit for coming on over. And so now we turn back to we had planned this segment, the talking with Alison Posey, sports director of ABC27. Allison, and everything you do in sports, as you know, we make a quick adjustment here on the fly. With everything you do in sports journalism and sports media, how often things like that where you got to make a quick pivot, and you were planning this and you got to make a quick pivot to that?
I'll tell you, my favorite saying is it's better to be lucky than good. I can't tell you how many stories I've stumbled into because I've been somewhere else. I was at Florida A&M just the other day and doing a story on the weight room and summer workouts, why it's important. And Marquise Bell was there working out. Didn't mean to do that. Better to be lucky than good. So, yeah, just all the time. That's this business. You got to roll with it, but that's what makes it fun.
Right, right. Now, for one of the things, obviously, for you guys out there, if you're not following Allison on Twitter, that's ALISONPOSEY14 on Twitter. Great video packages, great cover of FAMU. And again, I haven't lived in Tallahassee in 25 years, but I enjoy the packages and the presentations and the stories that you tell, not just of FAMU, but of all sports. What is sort of your background? I remember you say you're from Tallahassee, but in terms of sports and wanting to cover sports and really stay in your hometown, what's that been like? Or maybe give people the little background on you a little bit.
All right, kind of a little lowdown on me. So I was born in Tallahassee. My parents went to Florida State. My dad's originally from Gainesville, though. So I was about a year and a half old, and we moved back to Gainesville. It was a very strange childhood, being raised in Gator country by Florida State fans. I have vivid memories as a kid watching Florida State games, and I grew up in the 90s. So Florida State was very, very heated in the 90s. And my parents would just scream at the TV the entire time, be it for Florida or Florida State. So my sister is a diehard Seminole. She cheers for Florida on occasion, but her wardrobe is 99% Florida State stuff. I've honestly always been a fan of both teams. It was very weird. Like I said, I would have Florida State stuff, Florida stuff. So yeah, I kind of grew up very, very strange, but I was always an athlete. Played basketball, softball in high school growing up, earned a softball scholarship, played 2 years in community college, decided softball is not going to make me any money. So needed to get a degree to get a real job. And my coach at the time was like, why don't you go into sports broadcasting? Like, you are an athlete. You love sports. You watch sports anyways. Why don't you get paid to talk about it? And that's exactly what I did. I went to the University of Florida, got my journalism degree. I volunteered at the radio station, dove right in. I mean, I was at Florida during, the peak time to be there, the Tim Tebow years. Got to cover that 2008 national championship game. It was a great time to be a student there. I learned a lot. After I graduated from Florida, I went and worked for 4.5 years in Panama City. so not too far from Tallahassee. Covered some great junior college athletics, covered Florida State kind of on the side, and then the sports director job came open here at WTXL and took it. I knew that I wanted to be back in big time athletics. I had friends that went to Florida A&M, so I knew very well how good Florida A&M was growing up, and it's been a blast. I've been here. I just celebrated 7 years in Tallahassee. I cannot believe I've been here that long, but it has been an incredible thing. I've got to cover several national champions over all kinds of sports. We cover Valdosta State too, which is one of the best Division II schools in the country. Tallahassee Community College as well, who won a 2018 national championship in women's hoops. So it's been a wild ride, but I love it. I always say I play slow pitch softball for fun. I'm a washed up athlete, but I get to live vicariously through all these incredible people that I get to cover. So I'm living the dream, man. I love it. Every day I get to wake up and do something I love.
I like that. A washed up athlete. I may have to start using that. I like that. Definitely washed up.
Hey,
Marcus,
when
I'm gonna give you
your knees hurt, you can't help it.
Yep. Marcus, I give you the first question as our solid contributor. You helped pull this interview together, and I know you got a few thoughts and questions for Allison. So fire away.
I do. I have to pick. Let me start with this one. And there's been a lot of talk going around, and all the things going on with FAMU athletics. Mm-hmm. If you were to construct the ideal FAMU athletic director, not necessarily a person, but characteristics or attributes, what attributes would you pour into the pot to take us to the next level?
I think you have to have somebody. I know you have to have somebody that understands HBCU athletics.
Me? That's me.
But that understands HBCU athletics, that knows the struggles, the things you have to go through with HBCU athletics. So you have to have somebody familiar, but I also think you have to have somebody familiar with Florida A&M, what they've gone through, what they've been through, and how we can get past those to get to the next level. Somebody that knows how to raise money, invest money, keep those APR scores up, retain good coaches. Mike Smith is the perfect example of this. We've talked about this a lot. Coaches leaving, coaches going to different jobs because they're getting paid more money. That's not something that we want to have if we want to bring this program back up to the next level, which FAMU is a national brand. I mean, the fact that we have coaches leaving and going to other SWAC schools is insane to me. So that has to happen, but you have to have an athletic director that understands Florida A&M and the unique things that make Florida A&M, and want to make it better, and maybe the things that they lack, want to make those stronger. And I think those are the qualities that you have to bring this program back up. And I said Mike Smith, I meant Mike Rice. I apologize for that.
All right. Thank you.
That's all right. Well, what do you got, Kelvin?
So, Allison, you're everywhere, right? High school, local sports, all the colleges that you mentioned and so forth. So it's obvious about your passion in doing sports journalism. Just kind of talk about some of your favorites, right? And then your experiences, what you enjoy about FAMU coverage specifically.
My favorite, I mean, I grew up playing softball. I mean, that's my sport. So to meet, Coach Wiggins when she was here, just an incredible ambassador to the sport of softball. She had a great relationship with Florida State. It was always fun to see Lonnie and hers relationship at FSU. So that was really cool. But softball's my jam, guys. Like, that's what I played in college. That's what I love to cover. There's nothing like football season. I mean, it's football. I mean, it's a blast. I mean, from Friday nights, high school, you go to these small towns that completely shut down on Friday nights to cover that, and then wake up Saturday and be at Doak or be at Bragg or head on over to Valdosta State and watch some of the best D2 players in the country play. I mean, there's there's nothing like that Friday night to Saturday turnaround where you're dog tired from Friday night, running around, putting together a 15-minute football special, and then waking up Saturday to do it all over again. And I'll tell you this, I'd seen the 100 before, just because, I mean, everybody knows the 100. I mean, especially growing up in Florida, 2 hours down the road, I'd seen them play at a game. You know, I remember when they performed at the Super Bowl halftime show with Prince. My mother's a huge Prince fan, so she was glued to the TV anyways. So watching that was incredible, but there is nothing like that first time in Bragg when you walk in and the fan experience. I remember the first game I covered, I stepped out of the car and the smell of the tailgates, I was like, what is being cooked here? Like, I mean, full on, just, it was incredible. I mean, the whole area shuts down. I had never seen anything like that. And to walk into Bragg and it be so loud and so passionate, and you have fans. I think the unique thing about Bragg, it's a big stadium. It holds 30,000 people, but it feels so intimate because you walk onto the field and it's just loud and the fans are loud. And when the 100 does the halftime performance, I mean, you don't leave at halftime. You don't go get a drink. You don't go to the bathroom. You sit and you watch. There is nothing like covering a football game at Bragg Memorial Stadium. It's incredible. It's an incredible experience. And I tell everybody, if you haven't gone to a game, go. You'll never experience anything like it. It's unreal.
Agreed.
And now you have now we got bleachers with more room in between the rows, so it's even a more enjoyable experience now. You know, Kofi, go ahead. What do you got?
So, what were your top 3 games that you've experienced in covering FAMU football? What would you say would be your top 3?
I mean, the classic every year. I mean, if you had to pick one, let's pick last year because that's the best one in a long time. I think last year was really cool too because to see Coach Simmons lift that trophy after so many tough losses and the losing streak and being able to snap that, it's just, I mean, it was just so emotional, I think, for a lot of people. And that was definitely cool. And again, the classic, if no one's ever gone to the classic, go. I mean, just an incredible experience. I've gone every year since I've been here, but that game for sure. Oh goodness. The Southern game, that game was insane. That game was loud. Just the bands going back and forth. I mean, my ears were ringing after. I remember I got back to the station and our anchor was like, can you hear? And I was like, no, I can't. I mean, my ears are
like,
ringing.
what?
Yeah, I mean, it was just, again, there's just nothing like just the battle of the bands. It's just, I mean, you guys have been FAMU fans forever. I mean, I'm preaching to the choir here, but it's just, there's nothing like it. The third game, and I'm trying to pick a different sport here because I'm showing football too much love. You know, there's been I am, and I love it, guys, but there's too much love for the football team, which they deserve it, but we got to go with something else. Let's do, you know, I like FAMU baseball games a lot. The baseball fans are really passionate. You got the old timers that come out wearing the shirts and from years ago. FAMU baseball games are a lot of fun too. And you know, they're doing the field, which I'm old school. I don't like turf. I think I'm a purist. I like clay on the uniform. So when Saul changed their field, my heart broke a little bit. And Coach Orr told me, she was like, yeah, she's like, sometimes the cleats melt because it gets so hot. But I mean, FAMU baseball games are a blast too. So if I had to pick a third, and I think it's just because I'm a softball, baseball nut, FAMU baseball games are a lot of fun. But yeah, that's Southern game and any classic game, especially last year.
Marcus,
Awesome.
what do you got, Marcus? Give us another question that you got for Allison.
Okay. As far as the season coming up for this school year, which team at FAMU would you pick having a breakout season based on what they've done in the off season and your observations?
Volleyball, hands down. They've added, I want to say, 4 transfers. NC State, Grambling, after that mess over at Grambling that happened. They've got a lot of transfers, but their coach, Gokan, I've known him for a while. He actually runs one of the volleyball like elite teams in Tallahassee. So I've known him for many, many years. Guy's an incredible coach. But I mean, first year in the SWAC, Jackson State was a heck of a volleyball team. For them to take that SWAC title over Jackson State was huge. That volleyball team is poised for big things. Like I said, Gokan's a great coach. They've picked up a lot of really good, solid transfers. The girl from NC State, I mean, she was nationally ranked in a lot of categories, guys. So volleyball, I think, it's a breakout year, but it's also a year for them to build because they did win that SWAC title last year. So it's about how can you improve this year? And I think they've got really good transfers, and I only think they're going to build on that success and have a bigger year than they did last year.
Thank you.
Hey, Allison, before we let you go, I appreciate your time and adjusting, jumping in there with Xavier earlier and then hanging in this long. So before we go, I got to ask you, tomorrow's SWAC Media Day. I want to get any predictions that you have. Now, you don't have to pick FAMU to finish first or win the conference, but no pressure now. So that's not this kind of show. We tell the truth here, right? So. Wait a minute, say that again, Kelly.
I have a feeling people are going to come after me if I pick anybody else but FAMU, right? you can't go on a FAMU podcast and not pick FAMU.
Okay, so let me rephrase the question then. I'll go this route. Outside of FAMU winning the East, how do you see the SWAC West looking? Who will they play in the championship? And maybe what's a game or two on the home schedule that you think will be highly entertaining to attend?
Oh, man. I will answer your question, though. I do think FAMU, after the way last season ended, and Zay talked about it there, this team, they're hungry, guys. I mean, I think anybody that's paid attention to this team, they didn't like that loss to Jackson State at the beginning of it. They were motivated by that all year. They missed the Celebration Bowl. They did get that berth in the FCS playoffs, which is huge. I mean, it's the first time in 2 decades. It's a big deal. But they want to win that Celebration Bowl. That's what they want. That is their goal. I think that hands down is the motivation. If you talk to the guys, and I talked to the guys last week, I was there, and just judging from everything that they've said this summer is that they're hungry. They've been working harder this summer than they ever have because they don't want to experience that again. They want to win the Classic again. You don't want to be this kind of one and done, we broke the streak. Let's move on. But no, I think out of the West, it's going to be Jackson State again, guys. Let's be honest. They're the team, Travis Hunter, we want to say what we say about him. I mean, the guy's going to be tough. He's going to be tough, guys. So, oh, goodness. Who are we going to face in the Celebration Bowl?
Or we can even scale it back in the championship game from the West. Who looks like a tough? Alcorn, Southern, Grambling, Prairie View. Those are the 4.
Be tough, and Southern's just tough because it's an old school rivalry. It's loud. We do have them here this year, which does help. But that game's late in the season.
It's after homecoming. Game.
Yeah, it's after that homecoming game. It's right before the Classic. Southern is going to be, I think, the team. That's going to be the one to get to at home. Just begin again, like I talked about earlier. That game when they played a couple years ago, was it 2019 when they played? at
Yep,
Bragg?
2019.
Yeah, it was
Yes.
2019. That was the loudest game. I mean, and that was packed. I think there were 32,000 people at that game. I mean, that's gonna be the game to get to, I think, at home. So you talk about a home game. It's gonna be Southern, I think, personally. And it's late in the season. A team is a lot different than they are at the beginning of the year. That's why last year when FAMU lost to Jackson State at the beginning of the year, I was like, guys, that first of all, that game was rainy the whole time. It was a disgusting game, and it was a slugfest. It was low scoring. It was raining the whole time, and a different ball team
And
from
you
the
got 'em.
beginning of the end of the year. And you saw what they did at the end of the year. I mean, they lost to South Carolina State. So, if we're being honest, so yeah, Southern. That's going to be my big get.
All right, all right. Well, hey, the folks in the chat room, they love you, Allison. You're getting lots of props, and I think you got a lot of viewers already, but even more now that you've come into the ONG, and you know, we know you're out there doing great things, covering FAMU and all of the sports in Tallahassee. The big story, I'm gonna be looking for your stories on how you guys manage to cover these days where you got FSU home games and FAMU home games on the same day. That good luck covering that. I don't know how you guys in the sports media in Tallahassee are covering that, but good luck on those days. How many days are there? Like 3 or 4 days like that?
There's three. But I will tell you
Lord.
this: what helps us this year, Valdosta State is not at home. They're not all three on the same day this year for the first time since I've been here. So that helps a lot. But Florida State, and obviously the big one is the homecoming game. They're both at home for homecoming. So we have FAMU has Arkansas, Pine Bluff, and then Florida State has Georgia Tech. I've heard hotels are already sold out. So if y'all don't have hotels,
They're gone. They're gone.
Good
They're
luck.
gone. Yeah, you know, now if you want to put if you would put your home up as an Airbnb now, Allison, you let us know.
Hey,
if you're gonna go out of town and you put your home
I
up.
can make big money off of that. I might have to consider that. I don't know where I'm gonna go, but I
Right. I don't know where you're gonna go
for about 6 months.
Right. We can find a sponsor. Maybe we can find a sponsor for the show and just do the show from Allison's house, Airbnb style. You know, whatever we got to do. We're just trying to get there. You know, otherwise we'll be at Kelvin's house. That's what he doesn't want. You know, we'll be at Kelvin's house for homecoming. So,
hey, you won't be here long then.
See, exactly. See what I mean? That's why we got to find an alternative. Hey, Allison, thanks for coming on tonight. We appreciate all your coverage of FAMU athletics. Again, you guys go make sure follow Allison on Twitter at Alison Posey 14. That's Allison with 1 L. And you make sure to give her a shout out. And we appreciate you. All right, Allison, we'll see you out on the football field during the season or one of these press conferences that I always see you at. We'll see you on the road.
Yes, I'll see you there. Thank you for having me.
Yes, indeed. All right. Hey, we're going to come back. Quick break, come back. Marcus is going to stick around. We're going to talk SWAC predictions. I'm seeing a few FAMU folks popping in. Josh Padilla in the house. Ty Floyd in the house. I give a shout out to Ty Floyd over there. We're doing some work with ESPN, so good times. We'll be back in just a moment. You're watching the ONG Strike Zone.
Now, you can't live in Texas and not have a good red meat blend. Texas Cowboy Dust is designed for steak and other red meats. It's out to be my most popular spice blend, made with onions, peppers, ground mushrooms, pink salt, and other spices. Texas Cowboy Dust also goes great with chicken, pork, vegetables, and adds a restaurant-quality sheen to gravies and sauces.
It's like a loop machine. All around town, people trying to get down.
Vanilla smoked sea salt seasoning is for seafood. The tarragon and fennel bring out the natural sweetness in seafood. I also use it in rice dishes, on yams, asparagus, blueberry pancakes, and believe it or not, chocolate chip cookies. Vanilla smoked sea salt adds a salty and savory component to sweet dishes that create a symphony for the tongue.
For my people that don't get to see me, trying to remind you who you are, just like in Romans 3. See, we about to blow across the world just like a day that's breezy. This motivation for the people and this classic Bible teaching say, make this for my people that don't get to see me, trying to remind you who you are, just like in Romans 3. See, we about to blow across the world just like a day that's breezy. This motivation for the people and this classic Bible teaching, hey, motivation.
It's been difficult because I hadn't been able to see my grandchildren.
An expression on someone's face when you do something nice for them.
I miss all my friends in school.
Visit getvaccineanswers.org so you can make an informed decision about COVID-19 vaccine.
Nope. Nope.
Come on, him?
Ooh, I like him.
Quick, the quicker picker-upper. Bounty picks up messes quicker, and each sheet is 2 times more absorbent, so you can use less.
He's an 8.
He's a 9.
Bounty, the quicker picker-upper.
All right, welcome back to the O&G Strike Zone. Brian, Kelvin, Kofi, Marcus Green there. Kelvin looks like he got stuck in limbo there. Might have got stuck there. It's a beautiful picture of him smiling, though. So we'll wait on Kelvin to come back. Hey, you guys out there watching us on Facebook and YouTube, appreciate you hitting the thumbs up button, liking the show, sharing the feed. But more importantly than that, please go let Darian Oxendine know. Go let Xavier Smith, go let Alison Posey know that you appreciate them coming on the show. You appreciate them talking with us, sharing some information. Go support where you can. That's just as big as anything for us, because it just helps us get more guests. So that way, when you send out these emails and Twitters to people, people are more likely to respond, right, Marcus? You getting a
I've had a pretty good track record. There's some that haven't responded. So
okay, we won't talk about them. We won't talk about them. You know, I know might be a few people up in Lee Hall that may not reply, you know, because of Kofi, but whatever. We ain't worried about them. Hey, I'm not sure I haven't seen anything from from Kelvin. So hey, let's talk real quick. Let's talk, as it was mentioned, volleyball real quick. Volleyball got some new transfers in. Allison just mentioned it in that last segment. We picked up 2 transfers, one from Grambling, the other from North Carolina State. The first young lady, Nina Simone Sharpton. She's a setter. She's actually from Park Vista, which is in Lake Worth, Florida, class of 2018. She went to NC State out in Raleigh, played a couple of years for NC State, finished 7th in the ACC last season, went 10-8 in conference, 16-13 overall. She's a grad transfer, so she has 2 years of eligibility remaining. And one of the things, hey, breaking news that we didn't even know, Allison was saying that she was highly ranked coming out of high school. So that bodes well in terms of, you know, the depth. I gotta look. Kelvin, do you remember? I know we lost graduated Jessa Long, who was the libero. But our setter did come back, though, if I'm not mistaken. Correct on that, or do you recall?
Correct. Right. Yes.
Okay.
Just Long was the only major contributor that we lost off last year's team, and also the young lady you just mentioned has a brother who's on campus also, and has a family that has some ties to FAMU.
Okay. So that's a good. So yeah, I mean that's a good fit then for Nina Sharpton, and as mentioned, we lost Jessa Long, who was the libero and defensive player of the year in the SWAC. Well, hey, before Jessa Long and FAMU came into the SWAC, Jada Taylor, she was that girl. She was that it girl, that it libero. She was the SWAC libero of the year and the defensive. She was actually the preseason defensive player of the year before anybody, knew that Jessa Long and who she was and what FAMU was going to be about. But Jada Long was, so she now transfers from Grambling. Of course, if you haven't been paying attention to the stuff that's going on over there, that's a whole nother show, a whole nother topic in another space. But we're glad to have Jada. She's from Cedar Ridge High School, Round Rock, Texas, class of 2020. She played 2 seasons at Grambling. Of course, as mentioned, she was the defensive player, or she was actually the libero of the year during the COVID year. So that was spring 2021. When they had the volleyball season in the spring. So she has 2 years of eligibility. I was looking at some of the stats, whether it be the 1-2 in terms of defense and that position, it was Jessa Long and Jada Taylor. So the fact that FAMU did as well as it did in the conference is probably the reason why Jessa won the award. But if Jessa didn't win it, it was going to be Jada Taylor's to win. So that's a big get to. It's almost like, hey, we don't lose a step in that key position, and so having Jada come on board is huge for the program. You guys, any thoughts, Kelvin? Any thoughts there? And then go to Marcus, guys, quickly. Any thoughts?
Championship or bust, man. We've got the team to do it. We've got the coaching staff to do it. They have a new floor at Gaither Gym, so they'll be looking good in their uniforms and on Gaither. They'll be playing at Gaither, which is a more intimate setting, a better environment for women's volleyball. I know Coach Gokon is really excited about it and happy about it, and I'm sure he'll be on the show probably in a couple of weeks right before they kick off their fall practices.
Yeah, we got 3
Marcus,
transfers early. You got 3 transfers early. We had Miss Aja Jones. We interviewed her earlier in the spring. So she came from Florida Gulf Coast. And there are other 2 young ladies that came over the summer, maybe about a month ago, or at least it was reported or they posted on social media about a month ago. So we have a young lady that transferred from Colorado State, that being Brooke Hudson. And also we have someone who's had a lot of high accolades and actually Gatorade Player of the Year for the state of Maryland, when she's a senior in high school. And she played, I think, just her freshman year at Murray State. Her name is Brooke Watts. So they've all come. So we've got at least 5 transfers on the volleyball team in key positions. So Coach Gilcons was just reloading. So kind of like what Allison said, and like Kelvin just said, it's championship or bust, and you're loading up the teams.
Any thoughts you want to add in there, Kofi?
Man, he's guru and everything. So, no, man, this volleyball conversation, I mean, this is definitely championship or bust. And what else is coming down the pipe, Brother Marcus?
For volleyball?
Let's switch sports. Let's say football.
Okay, for football, we did have a young man that appears interested in FAMU. I saw something on Instagram that said he was committed. Didn't come from his official account, but he transferred from Virginia State. Young man by the name of Marquez Phillips. And so that looks to be a positive. And also someone that I guess we kept an eye on for the last year or so, coming out of Rickards, Christopher Williams, not the singer, but the offensive lineman.
That's exactly what I was going to say. That's exactly what I was going to say. Not the singer.
I'm dreaming.
And he looks like a big dude.
Yeah. Christopher Williams, the Golden Pipes. Not the singer. That's funny. Everybody, you know how old we are. The fact that we all thought that joke at the same time. That just tells you how old we are. We just showed our age right there. So wait a minute. Let me go back for a second. So you said Marquez. I thought I read that he was committed or not. Did he?
Not officially.
Help me. Not official. Okay. So just he's what, 6'2". He's got 2 years of eligibility from out of Washington D.C. What's interesting about him, went to Virginia State, led the team in receptions, receiving yards, and touchdowns. Also, receiving yards per game and receptions per game. Now, take into consideration that Virginia State really passed for under 200 yards per game, so it's not like they were slinging the ball all over the field. But Virginia State was fifth amongst 12 teams in the CIAA, and there was really only one really ridiculous passing offense in the CIAA, and that was at Shawan. Everybody else was kind of like 228 yards or under per game. So if he does come, I think that's a great addition to the receiving room, and we'll see. Real quick, because obviously we have Oxendine, we have Zay. How long are we holding on to the Rat Boys 2.0 thing? I'm just trying. I feel like this was like 2019. We're in year 3 of now, and I know there was a COVID year. How long? When do we transition to 3.0, or what do we do there? I'm just throwing that out there. Anybody?
Yeah, I don't know why you threw that out there, man. It's gonna be there till those guys graduate. I mean, they've been here for 3 years.
Well, who's the last one? Who's the last one? That's what I'm trying to figure out. Who's the last one? Because obviously, when the first rack, but when it was Kanan, I think Kanan was the youngest when he left, and it was over. He was the youngest one back then, but eventually it went away. I'm not trying to say I want it to go away. I am. But
it sounds like you wanted to go away.
I'm just
sound like you've been a hater.
Oh, stop it! Come on, man. All right. Anyway, who else is coming on board, Marcus? Any other recruits? Any other names? What do we got there?
Let me see. I have to go back a couple weeks. Let me see. Well, we did sign a long snapper from Tallahassee. We did sign a long snapper. So, just look at everyone that's come in between the transfers and the signees. Coach Simmons is just building up the quality depth. I mean, you could really see it from the folks that he's bringing in. He's not loading up the first team and just trying to have a superstar first team. And I'm not saying that, to slight any particular team or anything, but you look like he's building up. He's building up depth at every position, including long snapper, running backs, wide receivers. We got a lot of wide receivers, but if you can just bring wave after wave of 6'2" guys or speedy guys, somebody's eventually going to get tired. So, and you got kicker. We're signing a lot of local talent too, especially on the special teams area. Signed the young man out of Leon, Jack Brooks, to be the kicker. Come in as a freshman, because eventually, Romo Martinez is going to graduate, I guess, this year, and also
guys eventually got to leave. Yeah, they eventually got to graduate.
So they're building depth. Yep. So we're building up depth so we don't have a fall off for continuation. And the same thing you see for receivers, running backs, and all the positions. Even all the transfer O linemen we're bringing in are kind of youngish. So there's a couple older ones, but there's some young ones as well to kind of fill in the gaps. And we still have folks from the local area, from Gadsden County and Rickards. We seem to be hitting Rickards pretty hard too, with depth along the offensive line and a lot of skill positions. So I think we're pretty well set as long, everybody gets coached up, they fall into the program and, just follow along with what they're being told. And you can see the same for volleyball too.
Yes. Yeah, that's a good strategy. Have some depth. Got to make mention as the preseason awards and all these things come out. Who was it? NCAAF Nation 247 had a ranking of their 2022 top FCS tight ends. Notice Kamari Young come in at number 20 on that list. The only other HBCU tight end was Kamari Everett Bethune. Yeah, he came in. So, and then Hero Sports just released their top 25 for FCS defensive linemen. And of course, Isaiah Land came in number 1 as the top returning defensive lineman. I think when they did something similar for defensive backs, BJ bowler came in. I think he was in the top 5, if I'm not mistaken. I don't actually remember what number, but he was top 5, i.e., a draft prospect. So, anybody catch any other lists that they want to mention or bring up before we get into talking quickly about the SWAC preseason stuff? Anybody?
No, I'm ready to talk about that preseason rankings and so forth.
All right. So let's get into it here. Here we go. Media day coming up tomorrow. Preseason projections. Let's go with. Let's just quickly before we get into the team aspect. Let's just kind of go with some predictions. Preseason offensive player of the year. Who do you think it will be? Who do you think it should be? That's 2 different questions, possibly. So let's go around the room. Kelvin.
Andrew Body would definitely be in the position to win it because he touches the ball all the time. He's returning with another year experience in the system. He's a playmaker. So him, Shador, probably Zay, and I would say Kamari not Kamari, the tight end at Bethune. I think those would be my top 4 right now going into the season. Offensive player of the year.
How about you, Kofi?
I agree with Kelvin. I mean, I don't see them venturing off. They don't seem to be a group of media artists that seems to dig deep and I want to say take a whole lot of chances. It's pretty obvious who they're going to go with right now. So it is what it is. So, bam.
Marcus, how about you?
I would agree with Kelvin, but also I can't remember the young man's name, but the running back from Mississippi Valley. I mean, I only watched a couple of games last year, especially the one against FAMU. But with the quarterback, that apparently they got the number 1 JUCO quarterback, and so they're going to probably lean heavily on the running game until he gets acclimated. But he really showed some stuff in that game, and I watched a little bit of the Jackson State game where they almost upset them. So I think he's probably a dark horse candidate as well, depending on how he's used and to what degree they leverage off of the momentum they have from recruiting and having some close losses last year.
And you're talking about Caleb Johnson, the running back from
Caleb
Mississippi
Johnson.
Valley State.
Yes, I knew it was Johnson, but I didn't know it was Caleb or another name. Yes, him.
Right. I'll be interested to see whether a couple of names, Abdul Fattah Ibrahim, wide receiver from Alabama A&M, how that offense, if that A&M offense clicks, he could be in the running. I mean, obviously, you're thinking how could a wide receiver win this award? Well, they've got to put up yards and they got to score touchdowns, ridiculous numbers. You're shaking your head like you don't think a receiver could win this award, Kofi?
Not from Alabama A&M. The defenses are too strong on the east side. I don't see that happening. The one dark horse that I think that you may want to pay attention to is the new quarterback, the transfer quarterback from that's at Alabama State.
Yeah.
Demetrius Davis. Yeah, I was just thinking about him.
Alabama State has a strong offensive line. They've got a number of different playmakers. They're going to have a pretty good, solid defense. They had a few new additions. They have one of FAMU's former offense coordinators in Alex Jackson. So that boy is talented. He can play. So it's good. Nobody's talking about Alabama State. I know Scotty, my boy Scotty, loves to give Alabama State a hard time with all that moving and stuff. But I'm trying to tell you that they're gonna be decent, and you better be ready to play Alabama State and their QB, and he could be a surprise pick for Offensive Player of the Year.
There you go. If not offensive player of the year, definitely newcomer. We'll get that in a second. Defensive player of the year, obviously Isaiah will be in the front runner. He'll be a front runner. He'll be a name that people talk about. Give me another name outside of Isaiah Land to pay attention to. We'll go. We'll start with Marcus first.
I'm going to pick 2, and one of them's going to be a homer pick. So The first one I'm going to go with is the young man from Southern. I think it's Jordan Lewis.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Had an off year last year. He had a bang out year in the spring. He had an off year last year. It seemed like he was injured, and I don't know if that was because of playing in the spring and he got injured. And I'm gonna go with the homer pick with Gentle Hunt. I mean, he
Gentle
showed
Hunt.
out
There you
last
go.
year.
What up,
And
Ty Floyd, ladies and gentlemen. That's right. Ty, we're talking about Defensive Player of the Year nominees. Any name you want to throw out there?
Isaiah Land.
Outside of Isaiah, maybe.
Okay, outside of Isaiah Land, a defensive player. I will have to say that it's up in the air. Y'all better show me what y'all can do. I'm not taking any bets on anybody because there's going to be emerging stars throughout the conference. So that's my input on that. But I hope you guys are doing well. I miss you guys over here at the ONG Strike Zone show. My family, love you guys. And don't be affiliated with the thick 46s. Is that what they're called?
46. I think it's 36. 46.
36. You added 10 years.
36. She added some numbers. Good. Holy cow.
Come on,
Lord
now.
have mercy. God bless you, Ty. Kelvin, and then Kofi, any defensive nominees? Who you got?
So I want to go with the guy from Southern who transferred from Texas A&M. I forget.
The defensive back?
The defensive lineman. I think him teamed up with Jordan Lewis gonna be a dynamic duo on the defensive front for Southern, and so I look for him to be in the discussion. I believe Jackson State's which one is it? Shiloh Sanders could potentially be in the conversation along with the linebacker that came back also.
Niles Gaddy. If you're who I'm thinking you're talking about for Jackson State. Who you got, Kofi?
Well, I really love my man Isaiah Land, but they're gonna be double teaming him all year, and it's gonna be difficult for him to match the numbers. If he does, he's easily the player of the easily.
Oh yeah,
because they're gonna be scheming against him totally, which means somebody else is gonna get freed up. I'm gonna go Gentle Hunt.
I like that. Tony put in there Kelvin Dumas, Jason Dumas, I think is Jason's first name.
Dumas.
From Prairie View.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. That's Southern. Southern could be nasty. It'll be interesting. Can't wait to
that front four is gonna be legit for Southern.
Yeah. One of the interesting things, you guys pay attention to this in terms of teams with the number of transfers. I know at the beginning, like during the signing day, a lot of people were making a lot about the number of signees, transfers that Alabama A&M had. It was in the teens. Southern has almost 15, 16 transfers as well. I mean, a lot of so between them, Grambling, I'll be interested to kind of do a count here as I'm talking to people. What are you gonna say?
There are a number of different factors with that. Like Southern has home games. Alabama A&M's two biggest games are on the road. They got to play Jackson State on the road, and they got to play FAMU on the road. Neither one of those games is going to be easy. Then you got Grambling, who doesn't necessarily have a whole lot of home games, and Coach Dooley did a sneaky good job of bringing in talent, and he's a darn good coach, and so it's going to be real interesting. But obviously you have to play the season, and Andrew Body and Alcorn, nobody's talking really a whole lot about Alcorn and what Alcorn is going to bring to the table, but they're going to be in the mix as well. So,
yeah, for sure. Alcorn, one of those top-rated teams that I think people will be surprised at. They're getting a lot of the metric numbers that we've run, and what I'm seeing out there, even from sites like Massey Ratings, if you follow them, Alcorn is very highly thought of going into this year, and I'd be interested to see whether that comes through in what people who are picking
Why is that
for.
though? Why is that? I appreciate Messi and all that, but I need some tangible things. They
Well,
bringing it. They bringing a lot of new
they're bringing back a
players.
running back. Yeah, they're bringing back a running back though, Duffy. I think
Nico Duffy.
defensively, they're bringing back. Well, I know they've got the new defensive coordinator, coming over to Alcorn, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, I think
Southern's better.
this.
Gramblin's better. Texas Southern is gonna be better. I'm just saying they lost quite a few games. They didn't have a typical year last year, and their competition is much better. So I have to see it. They're gonna have to show me on that one.
Okay, I like that. Let's go through some predictions here as we get ready to close the show. East Division, and I'm gonna put this on with a number. How many conference wins will the East winner have? Kelvin.
How many conference wins?
Conference wins. Name team and wins.
Are you just saying you asking for the record?
I'm asking you, give me the team from the East and their number of wins. Yes.
So I'm gonna choose FAMU, and I'm gonna say 7-1.
Okay. Kofi.
But the one will not be Jackson State.
I'm curious who your one is. I've done my matrix. I have my one. So I too have FAMU at 7-1. So I'm curious. We'll talk offline who your one is. Kofi, what do you got?
I'm gonna go 8-0. How about that, FAMU? It's gonna be a clean sweep.
Okay. All right, Marcus, what do you got?
I'm thinking the same with Kelvin. The 7-1, going with FAMU.
Okay. I'll be interested to find out who your one is. We will have to talk offline, and then I may have to share this. If not tomorrow, next week. We'll have to kind of compare notes. All right, over in the West, this will be interesting. This should be interesting to see what you guys come up with. We'll start with Kofi first. Kofi, who do you have coming out of the West? Team and the number of wins.
I'm gonna have Southern University coming out of the West at 6-2.
Okay. Marcus, what about you?
I'm thinking the same.
You're going 6-2 as well with Southern. Okay. Kelvin?
It's a clean sweep. I'm going 6-2 Southern.
Man, what do you got? Let me see. What are you guys looking at that I'm missing? I'm actually going. I'm going with Alcorn 7-1. I'm going with the Braves 7-1. So,
okay.
So we've got. I like how you said that. Okay. So all three of you have a SWAC championship consists of FAMU and Southern, which will be a rematch game. I will go FAMU and Alcorn. We're not even going to get into talking about who's going to win. That's pointless at this point. I'm trying to see if I've got any other metrics or that you guys are curious about, because I did a whole bunch of totals. And okay, I'm real quick as we wrap the show up. I'm gonna give you a number, and you tell me whether this school goes over or under this number of conference wins. All right, ready? Jackson State 5.5, over or under?
Over.
Alabama A&M 5.5, over or under?
Over. I'm gonna say over.
Under. 5-3.
Come on, Marcus. on the fence. Let's see how this goes.
I am. I'm gonna say
I'm gonna say
go
even.
with Kelvin 5-3. I'm gonna say under.
Oh, okay, interesting. Bethune-Cookman 3.5 over or under?
Ooh.
Over.
Over. Yeah, we're gonna
Over.
need them to knock out some people.
4 and 4.
Kofi?
Over. The return of the
Alabama,
Wildcats.
Alabama State 3.5 over or under?
Ooh.
Tough.
Over.
I'm gonna go over too. I believe in that offensive line they have. They legit.
Yeah, over. And if they solve their
Over?
QB problems, we whooped them last year.
Yeah.
Mississippi Valley State over or under 2.5?
I think I'll get more than 2 wins, bro.
Yeah, they can
let's
win
say
3.
over.
Yeah, they can win 3.
Okay. All right. I'm just putting it out there. I'll tell you why in a second. Alcorn over or under 6.5?
Under.
Ooh, 2 unders. What about you, Marcus? Interesting.
I'm gonna say over.
Okay.
They had a lot of coaching changes too.
That's what?
Yeah,
They
they
had a lot of
did.
coaching
That's right.
too.
Prairie View 5.5 over or under?
Under.
They'll
be trying to stay. They'll be trying to stay out the cellar.
Kofi?
Under.
All right, 3 unders. Texas Southern 4.5 over or under?
Over.
Over. I give him 5.
Over.
I don't know, man.
Two overs. Oh, you having doubts, huh?
I believe in Andrew Body and what he can do, but I don't know about that defense, man. And like I say, the West is much stronger this year. I'm gonna have to go under on that. I think they'll be 4 and 4.
Grambling State 4.5 over or under?
Schedule too tough. Under.
Ooh, under.
4 and 4.
Over. You can't say at.
I could, sure. I mean, what did I say? What did I just say? 3.5?
I'm gonna say on par with 5.
If I said 4, what if I said 4?
Over.
All right.
They beat Alabama A&M last year without a QB. They beat they came close to beating Alcorn on the road. They're gonna have them at home. They beat Southern last year. And that was without the additions that they have in their coaching staff. I mean, they've totally upgraded the team. The defense wasn't bad last year. In fact, they really couldn't score. And they've upgraded their line play, upgraded their QB play. I'm going to say over.
Marcus?
Say over.
Over. Okay. Since all 3 of you are so high on Southern, I was going to set the line much lower, but since you all are so high, I'm going to set it at 5. 5.5. Over or under for Southern?
Over. Just to be consistent.
Kelvin? Kofi?
Set the line again. I couldn't hear you.
5.5.
Over.
Kelvin, I see doubt.
I think 5 is the line for them. They'll be 5 and 3, but they'll still win the tiebreaker.
But they'll still win the tiebreaker. Okay. Hey, I will share with you guys later what our predicted win totals. We did. My guy Drew did some computer analytics on some predicted orders and numbers, and so that's kind of why a little game we'll put out. You'll see tomorrow. We'll do something like this, similar over and under on some of these win totals in conference only. So we'll share a little bit about that later on. All right, more to talk about tomorrow, guys. Tomorrow, loaded day on the Black College Sports Network as we have full coverage of the SWAC Media Day. Again, there's the preseason cover right there. As you can see, Coach Simmons up there in the top right corner. Pretty good packet of information here. So we'll see. We'll see who has put up some stuff already out there at their tables, and we'll go from there. So, any final closing thoughts around the horn, real quick? Marcus, final thoughts.
Just excited for the season to start. Just can't wait to see your coverage tomorrow and see all the questions being asked and all the pomp and circumstance. And then the rubber hits the road almost, about a week from Friday? The camp opens?
Yeah, 29th of July, I think is what I read, right? Yep, July 29th, camp starts. How about you, Kofi?
My final thoughts center around what I was talking about earlier. I ain't forget, and Larry Robinson has got to go. Either that or his feet have got to go to the fire. This is totally unacceptable to continue to lose people that we've got. And I mean, just to be unchallenged with a lot of the decisions that he's making. Why is it taking so long for us to get an AD when it's apparent that's what we need? That again puts us back literally behind the 8 ball for another year with our other sports. God forbid, somebody come along late fall, we have a stellar season. And, guess what? We're going to have to be thinking about who may be able, and I hate to bring this up, but it's a reality. Who's going to follow Willie Simmons? We have to be thinking about succession at this point because we've got to stabilize the ship and we've got to be able to keep the program not afloat, but to be able to ascend to higher heights. And that's not going to happen without the right leadership. So again, we need Rattler Nation to really get active and start asking some questions. Mike Smith, if you're in need of help in your department, because I'm hearing obviously that a lot of people have left, a lot of people have gotten fired, a lot of people have resigned, and football season is not an easy task to do by yourself. Obviously you need some help. Please ask. Don't sit there like a knot on the log and get your head bashed in, because at the end of the day, Rattler expectations will not change. If you need help in any area, please reach out and ask the people. Now, I want to say this because a lot of us, we love to complain, we love to go off, but now we see the value of a Vaughn Wilson. We see the value of a Kelvin Rozier. We see the value of Angela Suggs. We see the value of people that have relationships, because late in the midnight, we see the value of Alvin Hollins. Because late in the midnight hour, when you need stuff done, you need somebody that knows how to get it done. And Rattler Nation, we've got to wake up. If we don't, it's going to be on us. At this point, we are informed, so let's do something.
Well said. Kelvin, final thoughts.
God darn it.
I think he got a pause or a notification. A phone came in. There you go, Kelvin. There he is. He's back. He's back. Go ahead, Kelvin.
All right.
Yeah, so along the lines of what Kobe was saying, the only thing I re-emphasize is that until we fix our budget in athletics, until we get it to that 12.5 to 15 million range, then we'll continue to lose good coaches, good employees. We'll continue to have 80 change over every 3 years, and that's not healthy. We have to invest in athletics. We have to pour as much as we can into it, and that starts with leadership. That's the person who controls that, right? So that, and then my other thought is our press box comes in tomorrow. Several trucks come in tomorrow. So hopefully by next Wednesday, we'll have some pictures as they start to put that together. They already have seating, the chairback seating going in on the west side as we speak. So we should see that picture coming together a lot more over the next couple of weeks.
So do you have any renderings of the press box by any chance?
I don't have any, not right now.
Okay.
I'll work on it though.
Hey, I don't know. I wanted to. I know we got away from time and everything. Again, tomorrow's coverage will begin 9 a.m. Eastern, 8 a.m. Central. morning show. Catch us here with some coverage as we talk about. We'll get going. We'll get your morning going here, so you get to work, or maybe you're driving into work. Get tuned in to the Black College Sports Network and our coverage of SWAC Media Day, and we'll kind of get the ball rolling from that point forward. I don't know if our producer. I took a couple photos out earlier, out in the room. I don't know if she's got those ready or not. I'll kind of maybe do a 5-second countdown to see if she's got them ready. If not, there you go. Well, hey, this is our well, and we can talk about this. Our good old cooling station, or the cooling trailer that came in for FAMU football, courtesy of the 220 Club. Looks like all the important people are there to take photos inside of the cooling trailer. So photo op for those folks who happen to show up at the right time to get a photo. Hey, thanks for coming out and bringing this great big ice truck and thing here. Yeah, great. So, what are we gonna do? But you heard Kofi. Kofi couldn't have said it any better. For those of you who are out there, and then, so I guess that'll do it. I don't know if Mel's got the other photos from that I took from the SWAC outside. If not, check Twitter. I'll post them on Twitter a little bit later in the show from out front. So
Hey,
that's going to do
Kelvin,
it
quick
for.
question.
Oh, okay.
Go ahead.
For that cool, is it legal to use it during a game, and will we have a place to stage it?
No, it's in its location permanently. For now.
Okay.
They have cool zone fans and stuff that they plug into on the sidelines. So the visiting
So they
teams
just
typically bring it home. But whatever you have on the home side, you have to make it available for the visiting team also.
Okay.
But no, it's just for practice.
Hey, Brian.
Just for practice. Yes.
Brian.
Yes.
We did every school over and under for UAPB. So UAPB over and under for 6 wins.
6?
Come on, man.
No, hold on. Let me bring it down. How about 2? Over under 2.
Under.
It's gonna be a long season.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be rough for them.
Under.
And they lost one of
Yeah.
their best players. He went FBS. Their defensive back. I was hoping he'd come to FAM, but he left. He was out. He's from Florida, and he said, "I'm out." And he went FBS.
Yeah.
Quarterback
Hey,
coming back.
somebody said we're going undefeated, huh? Okay,
You can
my
say
man.
what you want, cause I'm here to stay, cause I'm a mean old lion.
Look, one of the predictions that'll be out there is, will somebody go winless this year? I'm making a bold prediction. I think someone will go winless in conference play this year. Bold prediction for this season. Not gonna say who, but that's my bold prediction. I'm putting it out there now. Someone will. I hate it for them, but the schedule just comes out that way, So anyway, that's gonna be it for tonight's show. Thank you to everybody watching on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, where not even Instagram, but on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube. Make sure you hit the thumbs up button. Make sure you share the broadcast. It will be available in podcast format on the BCSN Pod Zone. Just search BCSN Pod Zone everywhere that you download and listen to podcasts. That's Spotify, iHeart, Google, Spotify, Anchor, all those fun places. That's where you can find the podcast of this show. Of course, you can always go back to watch it on YouTube or Facebook as well. And then download the Jericho Broadcast Network's app on your Google or Apple store. Just search My JBN, and My BCSN is where you can find it. Any questions you guys have any questions that you want me to ask tomorrow? Any school, whether you or another school, send it to ongstrikezone@gmail.com. I'll take a look at the inbox in the morning and kind of see what kind of thoughts are there. So any questions that you want to ask, no long-winded questions, keep it short and simple, but send it to ongstrikezone@gmail.com. That's going to do it for tonight's show. Again, thanks to Darian Oxendine, Xavier Smith, Alison Posey for all coming in and sharing with us. Even guest appearance by Ty Floyd popped in there as well. For Marcus Green, always thank you, man, for everything you do. Kelvin, Kofi, loved it. Great thoughts, great comments as well. And for Melody Lucas, we appreciate you always, Mel. And that's going to do it. So Rattlers, let's
That's
get
my
out there.
producer.
Be strong, be strong, be safe, and let's make sure to strike,
LML.
and strike again, fam. Peace out.
Let's go.